Alright guys, today we have the OmniProtex OPX Ultra Vest. Now what makes this different than your regular 3A rated body armor vest is they chose to exceed the normal NIJ07 standards. You know, a lot of times it's for 44 Magnum, and that's around 1900 feet per second. So that's no joke, but we have a lot of neat and new ballistics lately. Now it's not like you're going to pick them up at Academy or something, but there's a lot of high-speed, full copper rounds that will possibly penetrate most cheap body armor. This claims it will do it all, it'll stop it all, as well as 5.7 Green Tip. That's the 27 grain 5.7 that's zipping right along, made, I believe, designed for penetrating soft armor. The carrier is really kind of a mesh, and so it's breathable, and we're in deep East Texas. It's not as hot as usually at 100 degrees, but it's super humid, and it feels fine still, and it is completely made in the USA and at 0.27 of an inch thickness in your armor level. Something else that was new to me on all the other armors that we have tested, I haven't seen where you can unzip your carrier straps so you can wash everything without, you know, degrading your Velcro. So that's kind of cool as well, but really that's all there is to it. We're going to take all these high-speed rounds. Okay, normally a 9mm, like 124 grains, running about 1100 feet per second. Some of this is, we're going to test 10mm, that's running 2400 feet per second. 9mm, the very first round we're going to start with is Civil Defense 50 grain, that's running 2172 feet per second. And then all these specialty rounds, no boring rounds on the range today. Let's shut up and shoot. Underwood 68 grain Xtreme Defender. This is Ballistic Machinist, 9mm Interceptor, old Ruger ARX, Fort Scott 80 grain color, solid copper spun, another plus P. The G9, this is cool, G9 Defense, they have their own, this is the external hollow point, 80 grain, and then another plus P Woodsman, which looks extremely different. Black Hills 124 grain, that's gonna be subsonic, but we had it, so we're using it, and then the Civil Defense by Liberty 50 grain. So this will be interesting. We're shooting with the Archon firearms. This is the Type B with the GSL Chilito suppressor just for fun, hoping the carrier stays solid enough that we can just do all 8 rounds at once. Okay, we kind of spread them out. Let's go see. All right, so we'll hope that worked well. We saw one bunch up. This was that 50 grain at the beginning. This gel by Clear Ballistics right here was used already, and I had marked it, and it looks like we're tearing some, no, that's no penetration, that's just our carrier. We ripped our back end of our carrier, but you can tell we have no penetration. We might go ahead and just continue using this because everything's still good. And then at the end, we'll have to see what those rounds look like, because right now we're testing body armor, not the rounds. Something I did notice though, the second round was that 124 grain not hollow point, Black Hills Honey Badger, and it hardly deformed anything. Everything else kind of left a poke, and that one's like, nah bro, I'm good, I'm not going too far.
What are you doing?
Making green tip?
That's not how it works.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right, so we have this 27 grain, lead-free, and then we've got some 40 grain by Detroit Ammo. It's a VMAX. Oh, this is also 40 grain by Federal, the FMJ. I did pretty good. I can hardly tell them apart. So when you buy green tip off a gun broker, it's really the American Eagle trash. So starting with our 27 grain, and then we go varmint, and then full metal jacket. Starting at the top, this is the back layer, so it's freshest. That magazine just popped out. Whoa! The bullet just fell out, and we have powder all inside the chamber. It's probably gonna do a fireball though, so I'm gonna go out here. Okay, all right, we're good. I am not sure about this. I mean, this is really past any kind of test that we've done for 3A armor. It's a bold claim to say it's gonna stop this 5.7. It's bunched up a lot on the, oh my gosh, it did. Wait, what is this? I've got a little rip at the 27 grain, but that's just, I mean, we had more rip in the 9mm. Because all the haters on Facebook on the teaser poster were like, yeah, so will it stop 5.7? Oh my gosh, it did. Every one of them. So this is the 27 grain penetrator, and then the 40, and then the VMAX, and then the American Eagle, and we have nothing through. That's impressive. So now we go to our 10mm plus P. This Honey Badger from Black Hills is going 1572. This Underwood ammo is going 1773, and it is 100 grain. Now, the solid copper spun Fort Scott munitions, 125 grain, and it is running 1567. And then this G9 Defense looks very promising with a really cool shape of 95 grain and running over 1766. Finally, Civil Defense, 60 grain. We're at 10mm, 2,462 feet per second out of 10mm. This one might bunch up the carrier. Whatever that second to last shot was had a horrible flash. That was distracting. Let's see what happens. It's very bunched up. All right, we have marring from the backer. That's normal. I do not see any penetration yet, but boy, we had some movement. All right, so the carrier is ripping, but the last section of the Kevlar is all in good shape. Okay, it's still stopping it. Let's go further. This is the Black Hills 38 Special Honey Badger 100 grain. It's running 1,300 feet per second, but mainly we're doing it because I've been watching way too much of the Riflemen lately. All right, cool. So now this one, 220 grain, 300 blackout. The website says it's rated for it. We're running ours from AmmunitionUSA. I've had really good results with it. Out of this fold AR, it runs 900 feet per second. And it's quiet. And finally, a Slug from Yochi. Nothing special, just a big 1-ounce chunk of lead. Let's see what happened. I know I stopped the Slug. Slug's no big deal for soft armor. But I don't know if I've ever stopped a 300 blackout with soft armor. Okay, we have black flaking, but the yellow is still intact there. That one, whatever. Oh, there's our Slug. That's awesome. That looks so cool. Big chunk of lead right there. All right, so I guess it's stopping it all, but we still brought more guns to the range. That was everything that is listed as the OPX Ultra will stop. They have a comprehensive list on their website, including velocities and everything on all these specialty rounds, but we're pulling out all the plugs now. We have a 4.5 inch or 4 inch, 4 1/4, 5.56. So it's like, why not? Let's see what happens with some green tip. This will be a fireball, I bet. And no sights, so let's just point, shoot all gangster style. It jiggled, so he must have hit something. And now, 50 AE. However, it has some Lehigh solid copper rounds that the guys over at Crafted Ballistics made. I do not know the velocity because it was shaking the chronograph so much. But we'll just aim center mass and hope for the best. Woo! That had a flash on it as well. Now finally, this one I am not too certain about. This is the FK PSD, and this is the 7.5 ammo for it that runs around 2,000 feet per second. It's literally like a 300 blackout supersonic out of a shorter barrel, but it's also like a 7.5 diameter that's a little flat and less pointy. It's moving so fast, I'm thinking it's going through, but let's see. This is really specialty craziness. It shook so much, I think it may have stopped it because if they zip through, you don't get that much shake. Let's go see. By George, we stopped them all. Everything looks good. Make sure you get a real nice close-up there. It stopped everything? That's 5.56. That's 7.5 FK. Let's start our little diagnosis here. There is a flat 9mm from earlier. That's that stupid ARX round. That was dumb. That was a freebie just because I had it on the shelf. Wow. That's the 50 AE. It went less than the 9mm. It's a green tip because there is the actual tip of the bullet. Oh, that's the Civil Defense. That didn't go through much at all. Not much penetration on that. Okay, so, that's a Black Hills. Probably at 124 grain 9mm. It's a lot of layers. Oh, there it is. There it is. What is that? It's another one of those 9mm, but it has a hollow base, which I did not expect to see. So these sheets in the back are just, as you can see, nothing went through this even. That's crazy. Oh, there's one. Another just solid copper round. I can't believe it. Oh, something just fell on my lap again. There's another. Oh, that's that G9 Defense Woodsman. That was a very interesting. And there's another one. That's our 7.5. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to see where that went. And that was nestled right there. So it looks like our 5.56 actually went further than our 7.5 because that's very solid. And that S95 bullet just stopped right there in a nice little pattern. That's quite impressive. And so these sheets all right here are pretty much brand new and good to go again. I'm impressed. So to not admit defeat, which this armor has defeated everything today, we have a registered SBR here. And then this is a 62 grain solid brass spun tumble upon impact by Fort Scott. So you can't use this in a handgun, but this isn't a handgun. It's just a short AR. And I'm gonna point shoot and hope we hit and then see if we can finally get through that today. Maybe. Maybe, we don't know till we go look, but while we're still here, we're gonna, we have the tenderizer. This is a 404 grain by Ballistic Machinist, followed up by another Ballistic Machinist steel dumbbell. This may go through both, oh, I don't have both layers. I brought the 9mm back, but we're gonna go ahead and just see what we can do. Tenderizer, huh? I thought it was about to fall. Okay, it's so bunched up. I'm just gonna shoot where I think there's some stuff. Oh, maybe we got it. I can see trauma and I can smell the Kevlar. The energy transfer made some sort of like, oh my gosh. You would have to go to the hospital for sure. What was that? Oh yeah, 10mm stuff from earlier. We never tore this apart with our 10 mils. So bunched up. We have a wad. And we have a wad of Kevlar here. Well, let's just look at the back end. No way. No way. That's our copper. Maybe this is our solid steel. No way. Okay, there's our 300 blackout. It got all bent. That's weird. It's like glued to it. There is our Ballistic Machiner tenderizer. We stopped it. Stopped it good. That was the high one. Oh my gosh. I would have lost that bet. That is that steel dumbbell slug, which we have sent through other lesser body armors. This is quite impressive. You got the O-rings, you can still just kind of, it's a little dumbbell right there. And it's still warm. That is stinking impressive. That's a 10 mil, cool, another 10mm. 8, 9, smashed 10. That was probably a Liberty. Oh, here we are. Look at that. That's a tiny hole. Did we actually? Oh, we probably did go through with it. Oh my gosh. All right, tumble upon impact did tumble. I can't hardly see the streak. Okay, it went in right here, is zipped, and went all the way up to the neckline. There we go. So we did get a teeny tiny poke all the way through once we used a solid brass round, which is totally not a handgun in the first place. The most impressive to me is the steel slug. I really thought that steel slug was gonna bust right through. So pretty crazy stuff with a bunch of neat little rounds there, guys. So you can go check out OmniProtex. We will leave a link over on my link in bio, as well as the top comment on YouTube. Thanks for watching today, guys. Okay, I love you, bye-bye.